And there are last-minute tax tips to save you money and help you avoid getting audited. The Fox 5 Morning News at 7 starts right now.
Serving all of San Diego, this is your Fox 5 News.
Plus, avoid getting audited. We're breaking down some of the top red flags that the IRS will be looking for this year.
Your taxes are due tomorrow, and Ronson Shamoun, tax attorney from IRS Solution, is here with some last-minute tips to help you save money. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start off. The top mistakes that you see people making on their returns every single year. What are they?
You'd be quite surprised how many mistakes people make on tax returns. A lot of people put incorrect Social Security number. When you're preparing your returns, a lot of people have carryover losses from the year before. Let's say you lost money on a business, or your charitable contributions were in excess of what you could take. You're allowed to carry those overs in future years. A lot of times when you're reporting a stock, you forget to put the proper basis. Sometimes you have a lot of dependents that you don't think you could claim. For example, elderly parents that don't live with you, you can still claim them on your return as a dependent. So dependents, Social Security numbers, losses. Just double check your return really carefully and really slowly, just to make sure you don't really miss anything.
I don't know if you heard earlier, but our Paul Bloom was going on and on and on and on about TurboTax. Was curious what you think of services like that.
I really don't think it's worth it. I mean, tax preparers these days don't charge that much money. There are so many of them out there. There are so many credits, deductions, carryovers, so many things that the TurboTax doesn't really go forward with you slowly. I would pay the extra 50 bucks or so and you could get somebody to do it for you. It's really not worth it to do it yourself.
Okay, tell me how to avoid an IRS audit. What are some of the major red flags for that?
Well, if you are giving away too much of your money, large charitable contributions are a big red flag. They have a percentage, pretty much an average of what people who make a certain amount of money donate. So if that number is really high, that would raise a red flag. If you have a business that's constantly losing money every year, that would raise a red flag, because they would say that's not really a business, that seems like more like a hobby to you. Another audit red flag is unreimbursed business expenses. Let's say you're a W-2 employee for a company and you're spending money out of your pocket, large expenses. Even making a lot of money right now, the higher income that you make, those are red flags. So basically the IRS has a DIF score, and it's it's a score that ranks tax returns based on what the average people do. So let's say a business has so much cost of goods sold, their average markup is a certain percentage, they spend so much on advertising. Whenever one of those numbers is really excessive, it triggers a higher DIF score, and that score itself causes an IRS audit. So if everything seems reasonable in its profession and nothing seems out of whack, you most likely won't get audited. You
mentioned a second ago paying somebody to do your taxes for you. How do you pick the right person?
Well, first you want to see if they've passed the exam. Right now in 2011, they passed an exam, a tax return preparer exam. So before you even go to that person, make sure that they actually are a licensed tax return preparer. In addition, look at their qualifications. If they're a CPA, look at the State Board of Accountancy. If they're a tax attorney, look at the State Bar. If they're any kind of business owner, look at the Better Business Bureau. First, check their qualifications. But the ones that you should watch out for the most are the ones who charge a percentage of your refund. Those are the ones who have a motivation to kind of do some crooked things on your tax return so that they make more money. So if they're not charging you a flat fee and charging a percentage, you got to watch out for those. Also, a lot of these preparers that are unscrupulous don't sign the return. So when they hand you the return, it is a requirement by the IRS for that person to sign their tax return. So if you see and it says self-prepared, then you know something's fishy.
Ronson, thank you so much for joining us this morning and keeping us straight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And if you'd like to get in touch with Ronson Shamoun at IRS Solution, all you have to do is visit our website, fox5sandiego.com, and click that Scene On tab.